What up, Shawn? I don't want to do intros today. I want to get right to business. Yesterday, you texted me and you said, man, I got this problem with this guy who hired me. Super common problem. I want to talk to every single entrepreneur in the world right now who hires somebody like me or like Shawn that wants to make content. And I, I have a similar experience as you do, but I'd love to hear your story. And I want to talk about why this is such a hard problem to solve. So what happened
Sure.
yesterday?
Okay, so it had been a couple weeks since an event, and we filmed. I pushed out some edits that were great, and then, it took a little bit longer to, hear back from the client, and then he kind of, pushed me to talk to the creative director, and just the time span between when you're excited to get something done and you're inspired and you just shot it versus like, all right, it's been a few weeks, you guys kind of ignored me, now you're hitting me up, and they want to do like a phone call. I was just like, feels like you're 80% done, but you're still expecting the next 50% of payment. So almost what I want to do moving forward is say, hey, after 7 or 14 days of sending you the review link, if you haven't commented or critiqued it for that revision period, like you forfeit the revision period and the remainder balance is due on this date, because
Love it.
it's something where they just drag it on and they don't think like, oh yeah, Shawn's waiting for the second half of this. So, um, taking it as a learning lesson, but I know it's something common that other people have, gone through too, is when you're waiting on the client and then you still have the second payment that you're expecting. So
I see this in banking and I see this in taxes the same way. I want to get a loan done. I go to the bank. They're like, we need all this information. And then I ghost them for 3 weeks. You know who goes to the bottom of the pile of who they give a shit about? Me. So if you're like when I was I still am a real estate investor, but like when I want to get a deal done, as soon as I talk to the underwriter and they're like, hey, this is the documents we need, I have it to them tomorrow. Because then they're like, this guy cares. So then I care.
mm-hmm.
But if they wait 3 weeks, you're like, like Shawn's job is to go get another gig. I'm working every day. I'm trying to get customers. Like I'm working every day on this. I'm creating new projects. So by the time you wait 3 weeks and come back to me, I'm like, dude, like you said, my creative juices are gone for that project. I've moved on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking it takes a lot of mental energy to create something. So I have to come back to it. And it shows that they don't care. So super important to like keep them accountable for time. Like, hey, if you want to get this done, like let's get it done. Don't be screwing around, especially, for a single video. I know it was a single video. It's like, I'll tell you right now, for anybody who wants to make content, like a single video does nothing. You have to be part of a larger machine. So, it was interesting to talk. It was interesting to talk to you about that because that is a super common problem. And, and I love watching your journey because I think you're on the very similar trajectory that I was maybe even just a year ago. Like you start doing stuff and you're like, dude, I made $1,000 from my camera. Are you serious? And the next thing you know, you're like, I'm not doing that for $1,000 because I'm worth more and you're kind of a pain to deal with. And there's somebody who is easy to deal with and will pay more.
Always.
Which brings me to a life lesson and something that I want to employ in all of my businesses going forward, actually. Something I learned 15, 20 years ago in sales. Are you familiar with the F customer?
If it's not a fuck yeah, it's a no?
No, sort of. If you rated a customer from A to F, A being the customer that walks in, right? They want you. They like you. They pay you the most profit. They're the easiest to deal with. They don't ask for discounts. They don't ask for, extra stuff. They ask you for work. You provide the work. They pay you fast. They're happy. They give you referrals, right? And they come back for more. That's the A customer. The F customer is the customer that is the hardest to deal with. You make the least amount of money on them. They're unhappy no matter what. You have to drag on your process with them, right?
Mm-hmm.
No F customers. Just say no. I don't deal with F customers. So if you start to become a pain, it's like, you know what, just here's your money back. I don't want to deal with you. I don't want to deal with you. I don't want to deal with the F customer because there's somebody else who will hit me up. Somebody hits me up every single day and it's like, hey, Alex, can you help me with this? Can you do this? Can we work together on this? Yes. As soon as somebody becomes, they pay late, they argue about price, they're not happy with the results. It's like at some point, I you have to no longer think it's you and be like, oh, it's my work, it's my quality, it's my production, it's my delivery. No, it's not you. It's them. They are fired. Just no more F customers.
Yeah. Well, and then the thing is too, sometimes it's just you don't know till you try. So you work with certain people, it goes seamless. There's no hiccups, and you're just like, I want to work with them again. And then there's others where it's like, okay, are we really at this point right now? But that's how you learn, and it's part
This
of
is
the
why I
journey.
love. This is why I love deposits. Give it back to them.
Yeah. Ooh. Give them
Give it back to them.
and be like, here.
Here, you know what? You know what? You're not happy. I don't want unhappy customers. Here's your money
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
These are not suggestions. These are just something to think about.
For sure. Well, I've never had to refund anybody their money ever, but I do have something that happened a couple weeks ago that was interesting that I could talk about. I got hit up for a gig. It was supposed to be a 1 hour gig, drone gig for a new venue space that opened up on the southwest side of town. And I had nothing else going on that night, so I thought, okay, I'll do it. It wasn't the best rate, but it was for a friend that, friend loosely. She used to work at another agency that hired me more post-COVID or pre-COVID, and did the gig. But it's work begets work. So I met somebody there who had another gig, and turns out that was for off the field NFL Wives Association at Allegiant Field, and so filmed that over the weekend, and that all came from another gig that I said yes to, where the pay was there, but it wasn't the best, and I was just doing it because busy is better than staying bored. And it was for my friend's old company's event space, like, so it was cool to see how the snowball effect happens. So it's just like, keep saying yes to things, keep showing up, keep getting the reps in, and look for what you can get out of it. On that one, it wasn't necessarily the money, but it was a new relationship with somebody else who had a gig. And now, like, they're having the Super Bowl in Vegas this year. So they're also talking to me about doing like their fashion show that they'll have in, February in Vegas for the Super Bowl. And I'm just like, okay, cool. Let's start blocking off some dates here.
Every dollar you're ever going to make in this world is going to come from a person. You know?
Mm-hmm. Yep, all the relationships.
Never a dollar has shaken out of this thing.
Yeah.
It comes from people. So
yes.
I said this when I still am a real estate investor. I've said that twice now. In real estate, I never invest in real estate. I only invest in people.
I love that. I love that.
So when last time I bought an apartment building, right? I go find the apartment building. How did I find the apartment building? It goes from a broker who I met the same way you met that person, just going to stuff.
Yeah.
And then I raised the money to pay for it from other people. And then I had a property manager run the deal. And then I have another partner who does all the ops. And then somebody does the taxes. And then the tenants pay the mortgage. And it's not to say I do nothing, but my value is putting it all together. So in cameras, it's similar, right? It's, the old saying, like, it's not the best photographer, it's the best photographer that you know. So just got to keep shaking hands because, people have all the money. Cameras ain't never a dollar shaken out of this thing yet.
Yeah. But it's allowed us to do some pretty cool, interesting opportunities with some smart, intelligent people.
I just finished a sizzle reel for an event that I went to. That was a $50,000 entry. 12 people, 13 people in Las Vegas. Shot it over 2 days. And my first draft was actually really bad. I'll send you the first draft. I was like, man, this is not good.
Can I see
and
it
the
now?
Second draft, you want to see it right now?
Yeah, sure. I mean, if you got it.
Well, I don't want to play it live.
Oh, okay.
Actually, fuck it. This will be a good example. This will be good. Let's see. I'll share my screen. Can you see it?
Not yet.
Okay. But I don't know if the audio is going to come through. Let's see if the audio will come through. And if it does, it's probably going to be terrible. But okay, we'll just play it by ear. Let's see what happens.
Okay, now I see it.
All right. Can you see it?
Yep.
All right. Can you hear it, though? I don't think you'll be able to hear the audio.
Yeah, I can hear it.
What is the 50?
What is the 50? What is the 50?
50号俱乐部到底是什么？
I don't know what the 50 is, but this is delicious.
All right, what do you think?
It had some really, really nice shots.
But
I think we need some more transitions. Maybe.
I don't do transitions.
No?
Okay, let me show you the new one though. And this is where I really want, like, I wish that people understood. Actually, I want to take this story and I want to parlay it into the next story, but I'll show you the new one. And the biggest thing I changed, I use a lot of the shots. The biggest thing I changed, and you know, I'd love for you to sort of agree with me here, is the music. The music makes all the difference.
I was gonna say like maybe a few more songs in there, split up the scenes more with different songs, you know, see what else you could get.
Let me know what you think about the second draft here.
That second drone shot's way more epic.
What is the 50?
What is the 50? 50号俱乐部到底是什么？
What is the 50?
I don't know what the 50 is, but this is delicious.
I liked that one a lot better.
A lot better, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this
Lot
the music, bro. The music, bro.
The music helps drive it. Music and sound effects.
Yeah, the helicopter sound effect. I'm gonna go through there today. I'm gonna add like the drift screech and a couple of the race car sound effects and yeah, and then I'll deliver it.
Nice.
Yeah.
What is the 50?
But yeah. Yo, so we do this 4 times a year now, right? And I'm like basically, I mean, I'm not guaranteed to be there, but like right now I'm the guy. So my goal is every single time we do this, I just collect more people saying what is the 50, and I just make a more epic and more like just crazy video that I just cram into 2 minutes, and it's just like, I don't know. So over time, it's just like, what is the 50? I never want to say what it is. I just want to ask.
I love it. What is the 50?
So interesting thing about this though, right? I wonder if that's going to show up on the recording. I hope so. If somebody watches this.
Yeah.
So yesterday, 2 days ago, one of the guys who runs that event hits me up and he's like, "Hey, I know you're slammed, and this is like that's an endeavor by Brandon Turner. So I work for Brandon, so I did that for free. Okay, but I got to go, so it washes. I'm very happy, right? But I'm also slammed at work. So the guy comes to me, he's like, "Hey, why don't you just send me all your raw footage and I'll have this other editor make something of it." Now, before he saw any of the drafts, right? Before I had the video. So he hadn't seen anything. He's just like, "Hey, I know you're busy. It's been a week. Can I just like get all the raw footage?" And I was like, "Dude, you know, I worked for 2 days. I collected all this footage, and now you just want some other artist to come in here and make something that's theirs and take all my work?" I was like, this hurts my feelings. If nothing else, it hurts my feelings. But I'm curious, like how you would feel about that. Like if you took footage for 3 days and then somebody you didn't work with from the beginning just came in. It's like, "Hey, I'm going to take your footage and I'm going to make the edit.
Yeah, it feels like they're kind of stepping on your toes a little bit, like they're like waiting behind you in line really close, because it's like, hey, let me give it a crack, before you get a chance to. Um, and then it feels like you're coming from a stance of like competing, or different narratives of the story of how you want to accentuate certain parts. But yeah, if it's predetermined in advance, like, hey, this is just shooting, you're gonna pass it along. Way different if that's communicated beforehand, or where we want you to edit too, but full transparency, or having somebody else edit. There's.
And that's what I told him. I said, I'm 100% a team player. If you want to collaborate on this, I'm happy to collaborate. But like, let's do it together so we can. I'd love to have the editor build a story. Like, let's pick the music together. Let's build clips to the music. Like, let's do it together. Don't just like come in and take it from me because I'm not doing it fast enough last minute when it was I don't want to say it's a favor, but like, it's not my, it's a side gig sort of thing.
Yeah.
But I worked it out because what I did was I was like, okay, fine. I'm just going to make something epic. So now I don't think that guy can do any better.
Yeah.
Also think about this. If you were the editor, right, would you want to go through all that footage one by one, scrubbing it to try to put together a story after the fact?
No, I mean, it's always more difficult. I just edited an event that another buddy shot, and he's just like, don't judge me when I send you this footage, because
yeah.
And I was like, dude, I get it. It's like,
it's so personal.
It's like it's like being naked on camera in front of everyone. You're just like giving them all your footage, and you're just like, all right, go ahead and judge. But I think that's
also,
how you learn.
You don't know how I shoot. Like, how much of the first, like, where's the cuts? Where's the good and where's the bad? Like, oh, that shot. It's like you saw that shot. It's like, but I did this for 30 seconds, and then I finally got in line, and I did it right. So you got to go find all that gold.
Yeah, I mean, how long do you keep your average clip when you record? How long is each take?
10 seconds.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I keep mine short too. So
yeah, sometimes they're longer. But anyways, yeah, that was an interesting little dynamic I had. Okay, this week I launched. Well, okay, before I get there, I want to start adding some bits to this show. We are not getting any views on podcasts yet, but I haven't advertised at all. Like, nobody knows this exists yet, but we are getting it. It's on Spotify. We are getting a couple of views here and there. It is in my link tree. But I want to start adding some bits. So one of the things I want to ask you is like, what's your favorite piece of tech or software that you're like either excited about or that exists that you've been using? Like, I would love to talk about new stuff that makes life easy on this show.
Sure. Like new hardware or just new anything?
Yeah, just new anything. Like, what are you using that's making your life easy?
Well, the one thing that I used recently that I had on my list that we could jive on, because I'm curious your opinion on this, is the podcast app in Premiere. I filmed. You don't like it?
Game changer. No, what are you talking about?
Oh, you like? Okay.
You talking about
the podcast app in Premiere, the podcast.ai.
Oh, no, I haven't used that.
Oh, really?
Oh, you're talking about the audio editor?
Yeah.
No, I don't like
Podcast.adobe. Podcast.adobe. Yeah. I knew you didn't like it. Yeah.
I haven't seen it work yet.
So I just used it on a clip that to me it sounded really nice on. We were filming and they had the AC running, so you could hear like a subtle hum in the background, and put it through that, came out, sounded way better. Like, better than I could get it to manually adjusting all the toggles for like the denoise, multi-band compressor, limiter.
Interesting.
So you don't like it though?
I don't like it, but I also AI. It'll get fixed. It'll get good. It'll get super good.
I mean, for how good it is already right now, just to do that and take the steps of re-exporting it, throwing it in, downloading it, putting it in the timeline, to me, it was pretty cool. I was like, this is seamless. And then it's also like so simple now, where like anybody who can just follow directions can do it as good as it took us like years of learning to try to do. And the AI still, but at least like I'm not like a sound expert. I could just, I know some tricks of the trade, but it was impressive to me.
The Better Life podcast gets almost no audio editing on the video side. I have audio editors on the audio side, but I don't deal with it. When it goes through my Premiere, it basically just, if it's out of level, I auto level it, and that's it.
That's great.
Yeah. Hey, so a few things. This week I went to Florida. I traveled 15 hours. I went to Jacksonville, Florida to film 3 podcast episodes, and one of them was Tim Tebow. And I set that up. I set that up in 4K on a 3-camera setup with a tricky little a set, and it came out pretty good. It's not my, it's hard to do that on the fly, like to build a podcast set that looks good with lights and everything, and have it all. So it looks pretty good though for what I was able to do. I'm very grateful.
And when does that one come out?
Monday. We're gonna release it super fast. Yeah.
Okay. Heck yeah.
Yeah. So that's good. And then this week I launched Content Matters, the website. So it's actually the website was taken, so I use all Content Matters. Figured we get a little might be controversial. allcontentmatters.com.
Okay.
And so what I'm going to do from that site, it's still a little rudimentary, is what I'm going to do is I'm going to help people build sets like this so that when they get on Zoom, they know that they should have a 4K cam link, so they're shooting in 1080 and not 720 like you.
Yeah, okay. You're just like,
It's the other way?
No, it worked. It worked. It was just funny. It works perfect. Like we could just go like this. Be like, hey, Alex.
Yeah. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah. Hey, how are you doing? Yeah.
Yeah. So tell me about
That's
is
great.
how it looks. That's funny.
Yeah.
Oh man. So I had another thing that happened to me recently. It's just, you never know. Like you're saying you're busy. The guy's hitting you up, asking for the footage because you haven't edited it yet. But having things just come in and out. Like I just bid on a really cool job that's documentary premiere for Warner Bros. In December. And then I sent them the quote, and then they're like, oh, like we're talking to another company too. They had a better price. And I'm like, okay. And then I woke up to a text this morning where she's just like, hey, like you're still in the running. Like I'm pushing for you guys. Like we want to drop one video guy, add another photo guy, plus a sound guy. What would that cost? Give me your best price.
Those are buying questions.
Yeah. And so
Good
I'm
for
like,
you.
all right, you're coming back. But that one could be fun because it'll be three video guys, 3 photo people.
Dude, love it. And then you and I are going to shoot together in December, yes?
Yes.
Good.
3rd through the 5th.
3rd through the 5th. All right, let's sort of.
This could be our mid-episode podcast thumbnail if we're both like.
Wait. Does it have screen record? How do I do it? Let's see. Ready?
Yeah.
I think I got it. You're a little bit.
Nice.
You're a little bit more like this. You got to be.
Oh no. Okay.
Yeah. Look that way though. Look directly camera left. Less. There you go. Right there. Straight. There you go. We'll do it. This is so stupid. Who would watch this?
I love it.
I got it.
Yeah. Dude. So I was thinking about this though too. We should totally start. But we've both been meeting some really cool people, so we should totally start thinking about having guests on. Then we can ask questions and research.
Yeah, we got to do it. You and I have a hard time meeting all the time, so like I would like to do that. I might have to do some. I want to do more of this, so I might have to do some without you.
Mm-hmm.
But I do want to do most with you. So I'll just keep you in the loop, and the ones you can make, and the ones you can't make, and that's fine. But yeah, my buddy Felipe hit me up. He's like, let's do a show together. And I'm like, the other thing is I want to start doing shows where like people reach out to me and they're like, hey, Alex, I'm having a hard time making content. Like, can you just talk it through with me? I'm going to record those and put those on the YouTube as well.
Oh,
so
nice.
if you're a listener and you want to talk about content and you want to talk about it, you're willing to put it on YouTube, then hit me up. Let's talk about it. We'll make it live. All right. Let's do a short show today. Let's wrap this up. Sony released the A9 III this week, and it comes with a global shutter, and it shoots 120 frames a second. It is like nothing I've ever seen. You can basically take full frame video on that thing. It is gnarly.
Which one was it
It
called?
is
The Sony.
gnarly. The A9 III. It's basically the baddest thing that they've ever made.
Wow.
So this week in cameras, Sony wins.
Sony wins every week.
Now what's going to happen is Canon's going to come out with the R5 II. They're going to come out with the R3 II, and they're going to come out with the R1. And then we're going to be back on top.
Sony gang for life.
The other thing they do in the Sony A9 is they say they improve the ergonomics a little bit. The ergonomics of my Canon is just, I mean, dude, this thing is built for my hand. Oh, by the way, check this out. Look, I even got my little my gaff tape on my camera.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. But anyway, Sony wins this week. Relish that shit, my friend. Enjoy that. It is not gonna last.
It froze for like 3 or 4 seconds. All I heard was not gonna
All right.
last.
It's not gonna last.
Not gonna last.
All right. I will. Hey, thanks for this. Let's do this again sooner rather than later. We can't. No more missing weeks. We got to get at
Let's
least one
do
a
it.
weekend. We probably got to get more than one a weekend. All right. Thank you for watching. Rate us 5 stars on iTunes. Do they have it on Spotify? On Spotify. Go to allcontentmatters.com. Check me out. Shawn is. What's your Instagram handle?
At Shawn McGuire.
McGuire for hire.
McGuire for hire. Boom.
All right, my dude. Be well.
All right, dude. I appreciate you. Have a great day.